For my video, we're going to do the different moon phases. It's what we're going over in my clinicals right now, and so I thought it would be a good one just to see, just to go over. I saw it on the side of PowerPoints, and I was like, oh, that'd be a good one. Alright, so we're going to look at this picture right here, which is the 8 phases of the moon. And we're looking at the sunlight on our right, and we're standing right here on Earth. Now, first thing I want to let you to bring to your attention is that the axis of the moon never changes. It's light, dark, in the same spot all the way around. The moon doesn't, its axis isn't like no matter what way it turns, the sun is always going to be shining on half the moon. It's just where we're standing on Earth to give us the different shape. So we always start with a new moon, which means we don't see it. Which means it's dark. You can just see an outline of it. And then we go to waxing. And I want you to remember that waxing means that the moon is growing. So we're going from nothing to a little sliver, and all the way up until first quarter, it's still a waxing crescent. And then we get to first quarter, and it's a quarter of the moon, just right in the middle. And then we're at waxing gibbous, which means it's still growing, and it grows and grows and grows until it's a full moon, to where the entire moon is lit up, and that's a full moon. And then we are at waning, and if waxing was growing, then waning is shrinking, getting smaller. And so in our waning gibbous, you can see that it's starting to get smaller. We're starting to get a little dark. And then we get to third quarter, and we're back to half, and then we have waning crescent, and we just have a little sliver. And then after that, after waning crescent, we go back up to new. And so another thing to remember is from new to full, we're waxing, which means the moon is growing, the size that we can see. And then from full to new, we're in waning, which means we see less. The moon is getting smaller. And that's just the basics of the moon phases that I want to go over for this video. And now I have a few questions that I've made. So I just named it moon phases. And the first question for the assessment would be, what phase do we always start in when talking about the different moon phases? And that's the new moon. We just talked about that. And then I have a true false, which says the moon's axis changes position. And that's false. The axis does not change. Just like the Earth's axis does not change. And then for a third question, but I didn't put it on here, for 6th grade science, they are actually required to be able to draw the different moon phases. And so I would have the picture, or actually I don't know if I would give them a picture at all. I would just tell them which side the sun's coming from and tell them to draw Earth and to draw the 8 moon phases. And that's a requirement, and so that's something we would work on, and they would have a lot of practice for before the assessment. And that's my video. Thanks for listening.